Coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas, this is Punk Brats, a podcast focused on the lives and experiences of our military brats. We didn't serve, we got served. Now here are your Punk Brats, Rose and Lisa.
Hey, it's Rose.
And this is Lisa. Welcome to another episode of Punk Brats.
Hi, everybody. This month's episode is brought to you by OperationHomefront.org. There's no doubt military kids are extraordinary. That's why, for 16 years, national nonprofit Operation Homefront has been honoring them with their annual Military Child of the Year Award. The award recognizes military kids ages 13 to 18 for their resiliency, leadership, and achievement. Recipients are celebrated at a gala in Washington, D.C., and also receive a laptop computer and a $10,000 cash award. Nominations are now open for the 2024 awards, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can nominate a deserving military child, but only until December 3rd. Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more and celebrate the incredible military kids in your life today. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Rose. Wow, here we are again. I love just saying that because that means we're still doing it. You know?
I know.
We're podcasting still. Hey, that was a great commercial you just did for Operation Homefront. So, you know, all the community work that mom and dad made us do since we were little, all the way through even college.
Yeah.
When we would go home to visit, you know, I would have applied and nominated myself.
Yeah. I mean, where was this when we were doing all our stuff?
Just such a wonderful program. So thanks for sharing that. It's October.
Yeah. And October has a lot of things that we celebrate in October. Most obvious one being Halloween, of course, but it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And did you know there's a Ms. Veteran America pageant?
What? No,
yeah, I know.
About it.
It's kind of weird.
So what is that?
I'm not sure exactly.
Miss Veteran.
Ms. Veteran America pageant.
Okay.
Yeah. And
interesting.
What other things are we celebrating? Columbus Day. It's also the Navy's birthday on October 13th.
Happy birthday.
And what else is it? Let's see here. There's Day of the Deployed, which is celebrated on October 26th. And that's a day to honor our deployed troops and their families for their bravery and sacrifices they are making for our country.
I'm so glad that there's those days to recognize.
Yeah. Yeah, that is cool. And then we have Navy Day, October 27th, which I wonder why I wonder what's the difference between Navy Day and U.S. Navy's birthday. You would think it would just kind of be combined, right?
Well, if anybody Navy's listening, call in and let us know the answer to that question. Rose has 512-254-5989.
And then we have Halloween, October 31st. Yay.
Yes, this is such a great month because, like I said, I mentioned last month with Sage that this is the month I've been waiting for. I'm going to Europe, so I'll report on that next month for the November episode. But it makes me think about Halloween as a military brat. You know?
Yeah, you know, I know we were talking a little bit about this earlier, and I think it's really strange that I have no memories of Halloween overseas, but I think I know why. I think it's because mom and dad made me take Patty, our youngest sister.
Well, let's back up really quick and let our audience know about our background on Halloween. So Rose and I, you know, we started off as little ones in Texas, Fort Hood. From Fort Hood, we went to Japan. When we moved to Japan, I was in 6th grade. I was barely 10, 11 years old. And Rose was in 8th grade. So she's a little too old, I guess, to go trick-or-treating, but I still liked it. So on the military base at Camp Zama, and, you know, all my Zama peeps out there, you know who I'm talking about. We would hit the doors and go get us, you know, a little bit of candy. But then we would walk and roam that base until our curfew. And I just loved Halloween on Camp Zama. Really fun times with my friends. But I don't remember ever going trick-or-treating with you, Rose.
No, that's what I was saying. So I couldn't remember. And then I started thinking about it. And what I remember from it is that I had to take our little sister, who's 9 years younger than I am. So I ended up taking her trick-or-treating. Mom and dad stayed home to pass out candy. You went with your friends and you did whatever you did. And then I had to take her trick-or-treating. around the base.
But it was just so much fun, like a traditional trick-or-treating. You just knocked on the doors on the base.
Yeah, it was a little bit of, normalcy and traditional American stuff that we brought, living overseas, which, is kind of important for that healthy balance. It's great living in a different culture, but you still want to preserve some of your own culture too and celebrate your own holidays. And
we wore those terrible costumes back then with the plastic mask with the string, and you couldn't breathe and you were sweating in your own face, like breathing your own. I don't even want to go there because I'm going to gross myself out. But you remember those plastic?
Yes, of course.
In the 70s and 80s.
And the costumes that itched. It's like where the
now
Velcro
look at those costumes
was just like, gosh, like on the back of your neck, it would just be so raw.
Oh my gosh. But I do know Halloween's your favorite favorite holiday to decorate. You always go out and way out.
Yeah, I do. It's funny because I was recently in Michigan. Craig, my husband, had a show there. And when I got home, my children had decorated Halloween for me this year.
Oh, the twins. Lulu.
Yeah. So when I walked in the house, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, and they're like, did you see this? Did you see that we did this? Did you see that we did that? And I was looking around, and then my daughter says, wow, Mom, it's really kind of crazy that you can't tell your regular decorations from the Halloween decorations. And I was like, you're right. Can you see it on my face? She's like, yeah, because you're looking around like, wait, is that what? Didn't I already have that up there? So I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, the Holloway house is always filled with Halloween decorations all year round. So it's not really that big of a deal, like when it comes to October to decorate. I just maybe pull out a few more skeletons and maybe some, some jack-o'-lanterns and maybe turn on the purple lights. But yeah, that was kind of funny. But I do love Halloween.
Well, yeah, we hope everybody has a safe, happy Halloween out there. And I, again, will be in Amsterdam on Halloween. So next month when I share what I did, I'll let y'all know. I don't even know what I'm going to do. We just know we're going to be in Amsterdam. Amsterdam. I just made that up. Amsterdam. We're going to be in Amsterdam for Halloween. I haven't been to Amsterdam for Halloween ever. Now, we've had German Halloween celebrations, which have been fun. So I'm really just looking forward to getting out of the country and having a good time. So,
gosh, I can't wait to hear all your stories. I know they're just going to be so fun.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to travel vicariously through you.
Follow me on Facebook.
Yeah. So, while I was looking for a Did You Know this month, I was doing some research because I was trying to look for things that would be interesting to like military brats. And so I thought, wow, I wonder if there are any support groups out there, specifically for military brats. So I started doing a deep dive and I came across this website called OperationWeAreHere.com.
OperationWeAreHere.com. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And their mission statement is to create an awareness of the challenges of the military community and offer practical suggestions to churches, communities, and individuals on how to support and encourage the military community. And what I really liked about this website was that there was a little bit of everything on there. Everything from books for military kids with a deployed parent to recipes to just anything that you can think of that would go, along with being a military brat. So anyway, I just think that if we gave these different websites, our support as well, and of course, steer people towards them. But they even have links to other military support websites, which is really, really cool. So check it out.
Again, I mean, I love that, Rose, because like you said,
we're a community.
There's a lot of help out there for the veterans. I get it. There really is. But the military dependent, the spouse, I mean, we go through a lot too. And so it's just good to be recognized and know that there are resources out there for us too. So thank you.
And, you're welcome. And just to let you know again that there is a section there with books, highlighting books for kids.
Oh, so, I like that.
That's really cool. So check it out. OperationWeAreHere.com.
Well, I am excited about our guest coming up. because he's a cool brat. And, I like to, the whole point of this podcast is to highlight notable brats. And, how you did and I don't know. I mean, there's so many million brat organizations out there to recognize. When I research and say brats in the news, 1,000 things come up. But I was so excited because this month for Brats in the News, we're going to I'm highlighting Yokota High School. So for those who don't know where Yokota High School is, it's in Japan. Rose and I were at Camp Zama, but what is Yokota? It's
Air Force, and
right?
They were Camp Zama rivalry.
Yeah. So 100 Yokota High School alumni walked the campus grounds this last month, in September, to celebrate 50 years since the school doors first opened. And more than 700 students were on the rolls when Yokota first welcomed their first classes in 1973. And now, like in 2023, the school has, of course, tripled in size. But that my Brats in the News is that they had a ton of alumni show up. People flew out, like alumni flew out to Japan, to Yokota, to attend this reunion. And I just love that camaraderie that they still have from 1973.
That's amazing.
You think someone from 1973 who went to a high school here in Austin or anywhere,
right?
Orlando, Atlanta, to them, they graduate high school. I'm not saying that their reunions aren't as fun as ours. Okay. I'm not. But what I'm saying is that we are more unique because we are coming from all around the world to fly to this one place in Japan to meet. And they hadn't seen each other since 1973. And big numbers came out that Stars and Stripes even highlighted it. So congratulations to Yokota High School, the Dodds school out there, and 50 years of celebration. And that's my Brats in the News.
Yeah, congratulations, Yokota.
Rose had fun times in Yokota.
Yeah, I had some friends that were there. I don't know if you remember in one of our previous episodes, I mentioned going to the Pony Store, which was the electronics store right outside the main gate there in Yokota.
Wouldn't Dad just drive us? That's the only reason we really went to Yokota with Dad.
Yeah. And they also had that huge PX that we could go shopping. Because Camp Zama, we just had that kind of small annex. And there they had the big base exchange. So
I do remember the family trips to Yokota. But this might be another episode, but I do recall you maybe taking a trip or two with your friends to Yokota. To get away from Zama.
I did.
Anyway, oh my gosh, we could just talk about this all. I wish we had more time to banter with each other, but I know we have to highlight our guest. And it's about that time. So, you want to introduce and tell us a little bit about our upcoming guest, John Coker?
Well, John is an Emmy-nominated producer and the audience engagement specialist for KENS 5, San Antonio CBS affiliate. He was born in Germany on a U.S. Air Force base and says he was raised on an airplane in a military family. So let's have John tell us more about this.
Hey, welcome to the Punk Brats podcast, John. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this.
Hey, John, it's Rose. How are you?
What's up, Rose? I'm doing good. And first of all, congrats on this great podcast. This is such a cool idea.
Thank you. It's fun.
We don't see that many military people, picking up and running with this whole thing. So it's good to see, a bunch of military brats coming together, making something happen. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was spontaneous too, which makes it even extra cool, I think.
Yeah.
I
love it. Love it.
And you know what I love about us brats is that it doesn't matter what our background is, how big we are, how small we are, what color we are, what politics we are, just whatever. Right.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this before we started recording. I love that our community is just one, that our background is no matter what, our one parent or the other, somebody in our family that we were a guardian of, that was our guardian, served. And we just had the same upbringing, that patriotism. And I love that.
I love it too. And it's cool because, when you move from base to base, you don't even know. I mean, back when we were growing up, you don't really know if you're going to ever see those people again. So you got a platform now where you're bringing them all back together. I think that's pretty cool.
Exactly. Which brings me to one, as a military brat, one of my worst and most dreaded questions. How do you feel when someone asks you, where are you from?
Oh my gosh. That's the hardest question to answer because I jump around. I always just tell them wherever I'm at right now. I just say, I'm in Tulsa. I'm from Tulsa because that's just how it is. Right now, I'm from San Antonio.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you want to take us back to the beginning? Tell us.
Well, it all started once upon a time. It was,
Yes.
I was actually born in Germany. And so I've been a military brat all of my life. So it's not like my parents started serving while I was a kid. I was born in Germany. Still not exactly sure where, because sometimes they'll say Simbach, sometimes they say Kaiserslautern, sometimes they make up stuff. So I was born in Germany and jumped around quite a bit after that. So we came to the States, lived in a lot of southern states like Oklahoma, New Mexico, and went back to Germany when I was about 12. And that's kind of when I felt like I was old enough to appreciate it. I was in another country every weekend. So I got really big into, I grew up playing soccer. I was a Euro boy, so that made a lot of sense. Got really big on wrestling, believe it or not, and went pretty far with it. And ended up getting like third in all of Europe in wrestling competitions there. Yeah. And
what school was this?
Bitburg.
Bitburg.
Yeah, Bitburg.
Okay.
Why you gotta laugh
I've been
like
there.
We know Bitburg. We call them the Bitburg boys.
The Big Bird boy. So most of the time people hear, they're like, yeah, Big Bird. I was like, I did not go to no Big Bird high school. But yeah, no, I left there. I was pretty serious about wrestling, thinking I was going to go with the Olympics and do the whole Iowa State route, but came to the States and landed in San Antonio and ended up finding my passion in TV, entertainment, all that good stuff. And my dad retired here, so I just called it home, set up shop.
Wow. What a fun life you've had. And then to fall into TV and entertainment and all that you do, it's not a boring life at all.
It's fun. But, you hate it when you're a kid because you get used to having all these friends. And then 2 years later, you got to say goodbye. Then you meet some new friends and you got to pick up and uproot. But, now it's kind of given me somewhat of an advantage and perspective, I guess, just to know different things and to be able to open myself up to different ways of thinking. So, I don't resent it at all. I think it's been a great kind of a blessing to be able to see the world and all the different people that come with that.
Yeah. So did you attend public school as well as DOD school or DOD, DEA schools?
I went to all DOD schools while I was in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah. So the culture shock uppercut me when I got to San Antonio, and there are 5,000 plus people just my graduating class. What in the world am I doing here?
See, when Rose and I went to school, we were in a public school for then from public, we went to DODS. And then from DODS, we were so used to the DODS program. And then when we went to high school, our father on our first day of school drops it on us that it's an international school.
Oh,
and not just that, we get there and it's one hallway from pre-K to 13th grade.
Oh, snap.
No football. Yeah. No drill team. So no football. I was not going to be able to be on drill team for my freshman year. Rose couldn't continue her flag corps. You were the flag girl.
Color guard.
Color guard. And we were like, what?
Talk about
where
culture
have you
shock.
dropped us off at?
So were y'all Air Force, Army? What were you?
Army.
But then we ended up loving our school. And not just that, not only did we get the culture of being with our military heritage of having military brats as friends, we had international friends, from Japan, Turkey, Iran, Russia, Switzerland, Canada. Yeah. I can name friends from all around the world. And I'm about to go next month. I'm going this month, in October to Germany to see all my friends.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I'm excited. So, Rose, I think you had a question about that. You were asking me earlier, and I told that would be a great question.
Yeah. So I know that you have you had a recent trip to Israel and Greece.
Yes. That was amazing.
I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that. Those are two countries on my bucket list. Israel especially.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is that those are two countries on my bucket list too. So my wife and I have been talking about someday we'll go to Greece, someday we'll go to Israel. And we thought those would be two isolated trips, 20 years from now. And one of our clients, we have a nonprofit and we do production as a side part of that. And one of our clients reached out and said, hey, we're doing this tour and we have several other things going on and we're going to end up in both of these countries. Would you be interested in coming and documenting the whole thing for us in video and reels, pictures, social media? So, I was like, well, hey, let me talk to my wife about it. And she came back around. It's like, you're crazy if you don't go. And I said, well, yeah, they're asking me to go. She said, well, sure, I'll go too. I said, all right,
Love
cool.
It. Love
So
it.
long story short, we went out to started in Greece, spent a week in Athens, and hit up all the historical places and ate way too much, did the whole thing, and then jumped over to Tel Aviv and several other places, floated in the Dead Sea for a little bit. But, for us, it was kind of cool because we spent, we both grew up in Germany and didn't meet till we get to San Antonio. And so this was our first time being able to go back overseas as adults, and then we get to do it together. So
is she a military brat?
She is. She's Army. She's in your club.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
We should have had her join you.
I know.
That's so cool.
Oh, hi, Jamie.
Wow. That's cool.
Jamie, they said hi. I'm scared. See, I should have given y'all this disclaimer because I didn't tell you this, but anything can happen because my kids are wide awake. So she's kind of just holding them at the doors right now, just making sure they don't jump.
Yeah, that's totally get it.
We get it.
When my kids were little too. Wow, that is so cool. That's cool because then you guys have the shared experience. So Lisa is married to an Air Force brat, but my husband is not, is not a brat. And our experiences are so different growing up because he has roots from where he knows people from kindergarten, Wow,
yeah.
And I don't know anybody from kindergarten, so
yeah.
I think that's really cool when you can have those shared experiences and talk about it and, gets your excitement. Because I think sometimes my husband thinks I'm a little kooky. I get excited about something. It's like, well, like we did this or, like as a kid, we did this or that, but I will admit sometimes I get a little jealous of people who have, those roots and that foundation. But I wouldn't trade my experience for anything.
No.
Yeah, I mean, same. It's kind of crazy when you talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, we grew up together. I'm like, man, I didn't grow up with anybody. You grew up on an airplane, jumping around. Man, and it's cool to kind of catch up to people later down the road. But yeah, it's crazy when you see people who've had these relationships for 20 plus years and they've been in one part of the world. But I still love the experiences we had growing up. It's awesome.
I think that's really cool too, because look at all, we've never met each other before. But we can just get on this interview and talk about shared experiences that we have, as strangers. Right. And, we have very different lives, but that is the one thing that kind of just connects us. There's that connection when you meet someone else that's, a brat or grew up with the brat life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. What I was going to say is speaking of your wife and traveling together and your kids, you also have a nonprofit with her. And my background is nonprofit. And when I read that about you guys, I'm like, first of all, I thought I was the busiest person ever in the world. But after reading your bio, you're kind of like me and you're just doing lots of things at once because, my philosophy is that you only have one life to live and we don't have time to do it all. So do as much as you can while you can.
That's it.
But tell us a little bit about Creative Hearts Entertainment, because I just love the work that you're doing with these kids and the community outside of what you do for your job
amazing.
at the news station.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we just wanted to take all the different little things we were doing and get organized under a 501c3 so we can make the most impact with it. But yeah, so Creative Hearts Entertainment, we actually launched that in 2014. And we decided to kind of start our marriage with some type of business where we can be self-sufficient and also help a lot of people. And so basically it's about giving being a support service to schools and to organizations that are serving students. And so we do character education programs, motivational entertainment, and mentoring initiatives. And we added an arm to that because with the mentoring, a lot of students are wanting to learn how to do content creation and all those things. So one of our programs is called the Creative Hearts Academy. And we teach kids everything about filmmaking, dance, music, public speaking, developing businesses. We have all these different types of arms that go out of that, life hacks and et cetera. But one of the arms that we kind of gave birth to in 2020 was taking that Creative Arts Academy and helping small businesses, other nonprofits, ministries with their storytelling. Because I saw so many nonprofits getting right on the edge of going out of business because they just didn't have the funds, people can't give, et cetera. So, fundraising is directly tied to your effectiveness in storytelling. So we help them with that, help them raise that money. And then at the same time, we're training students with those trades as well.
That's wonderful.
But it's been fun, very rewarding.
How can people find out more about Creative Hearts Entertainment?
CreativeHeartsTV.org. That's where you can find our website.
Okay.
And, we're on social media, but we're, more active on our website. And of course, you can email me, John, Jon, at creativeheartstv.org. You want more information about what we do?
Wonderful. And we have a link on our website as well for linked on the schedule with your name. So anybody needing that information, just go there. Wow. Yeah, you are super busy. Wow. So anyway, this is going to stump you. I have a question. We have a phone line that people call in, and we actually got a really interesting phone call, didn't we, Rose? The message.
Yeah, it was really cool. The gist of the voicemail was, as a military brat, how do you choose your professional sports teams?
Oh,
answer that question for her.
I thought about it. And I was like, that's a great question.
Yes.
I don't know what the whole blanket answer for that is, but I'll tell you this. I'm in a great mood this week because I have been adopted by Texas. San Antonio is a family city. So I've been adopted by all things San Antonio culture, Texas culture. I'm a big time Spurs fan, and I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yes, I'll be there. I'll be there on Sunday.
You know that scene on Castaway where he's like coming out to like see the light? I'm like that. Like, yes, my boys are winning now. Like Sunday, they just destroyed the Giants, and I'm just like, yes. So I'm feeling good. But I would say I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rose.
Rose is a Giants fan. I'm a Cowboys fan.
I'm a Giants fan. My sister's a Cowboys fan.
Well, I was born in Texas at Fort Hood. You can't blame me.
Yeah. So I would say I'm big time Spurs fan, big time Cowboys fan. And that's just because I've been here long enough to call it home.
Awesome. Well, thanks for answering that question. And yes, y'all stay tuned after our podcast because we are starting to plug phone calls that are coming into our phone line. And you don't have to be a brat to call in. So thanks, John, for answering that question for Diane in Texas. So what else is going on, Rose? What else do we want to ask John?
Well, I was reading your bio, which I found fascinating and very interesting. It said that you had that you're an award-winning reporter and cartoonist for the Ranger newspaper during your time at San Antonio College. And
yes,
the whole cartoonist part I'm really intrigued by because my husband is an artist and I love cartoons. And I was just like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I'm thinking about all these things that you've done and I'm like, wow. And he's a cartoonist as well. It's like, what have you not done?
That's what I said. He's doing it all. I love that.
I'll be honest with you. I have no idea how that ended up on that bio because I would never give myself credit for that. I don't know how that ended up on there, but I'll update that because that's a little secret of mine.
And that's like just tells you how the internet can just like take you in all sorts of crazy directions because
it's true, but it's just not something I would have. But I will say this: I've always loved drawing. I grew up, doodling and all that stuff. So one of the little things my wife laughs all the time. We go out to eat, and I always draw on the napkin and leave it for the waiter. And
that's sweet. I like that.
That's the coolest thing.
That's really cool. Well, I think it's cool. I mean, yeah, you're right. Like his bio, I thought that. But tell us about your career at Ken's Eye, at San Antonio. Ken's, is it Ken's 5?
Yeah, Ken's 5. Ken's 5. I'm loving it right now. Ken's it's a San Antonio CBS affiliate. So I'm the audience engagement specialist there. I like to say I have the most fun job in the city because my job is really to make good news happen. So there's different ways I get to do it. I kind of sum it up with 3 C's: creative. So creativity, content, and community, and just trying to find the most effective ways to make our brand a resource to the people in the city. So one of the cool things I get to do, I'm the host of a show called Good Things Happen. And, that might be random acts of kindness that just pop up in the neighborhood near you. So anything from paying for people's coffee to surprising families whose house burned down with a $5,000 check to start fresh. We get to do all those kinds of things. Yeah, but that's been kind of the highlight of my career so far. Yeah.
It's rewarding to do that. But you know what? Another highlight is that you were also Emmy Award nominated. I mean, you can put that in the same line as your name. And so, I mean, I always feel like people who are nominated for Oscars and Grammys, if they don't win, it doesn't matter because it's still in front of their name.
Yeah, I mean, and it's cool. It's cool to get awards and all that stuff. It's when you get a chance to do stuff. When you get a chance to do work that is helping people, it's just good to see that it's pushing the conversations forward. And when you get to see an Emmy attached to it, whatever that means to people, the sparkle of it is great. But it's just good to know that people are noticing and these conversations are moving forward and making a difference.
Yeah, it's nice to be recognized. for that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's awesome.
Well, hey, it's raining over here. I know for the last 3 months on every single one of our episodes, we've joked with our guests that it's in triple digits. And John, it's raining right now.
Oh, send it this way. I'll take some.
I know. I was joking with Lisa earlier, and I was like, we're having a cold front. I mean, it's still in the 80s.
I know. Yeah, a cold front in Texas is, oh gosh, 90 degrees, and we all bust out the jackets.
Oh my gosh, I'm so looking forward to being cold again.
Yeah, I was joking with her because the weather has been really hot. I was like, wow, you notice we talk about the weather every single episode, but it's true. It's because it is kind of newsworthy because it's been so hot here.
Yeah,
and then today I was like, maybe this week this episode we won't talk about the weather, but today it's actually raining, so it's like talk about the weather. Sorry,
I'll take any rain.
Oh my god,
I'll take it. It's been really hot. These triple digits, that record of that triple digit streak that we had. Oh my gosh.
And kids are so resilient. Like I see these kids outside, they're all running around and everything. I remember as a little kid living in Fort Hood and clean, in Texas. Yeah. And being just like, whatever, it's hot outside, right? And running, not caring. But as an adult, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
It's funny to me because, we grew up playing outside and that's how we get in trouble and they say stay inside. Now kids get in trouble and they have to go outside and figure out how to play. Right. It's so funny because I don't know what kids you saw, Lisa, but I saw some kids standing outside the other day and they were just like, they don't even know. They're like,
they don't know what to do.
John's rolling his eyes right now for those who cannot see him.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's some of you that kids don't know how to play outside now.
I want to ask you before we run out of time. What was it like to work with Denzel Washington? He's one of my favorites.
That was awesome. So I was at a conference in Charlotte and I was doing some production work. And something told me, don't take a lunch break yet. I was backstage and they were getting ready to do another session and the doors fly open and I knew he was going to be there at some point. I didn't know he's going to be where I was at, but the doors fly open. He comes in and you would think he'd have 20 people surrounding him, but he comes in by himself with one person as down to earth, as cool and as humble as you can imagine.
Yeah. That's what I've heard about him.
Yeah. But I had a chance to chop it up with him a little bit and he had been on a red-eye flight, so I didn't ask him a bunch of questions, but got a chance to shoot with him. As a matter of fact, when he came out to talk about the Will Smith slap and the whole Oscars drama, I was actually rolling camera for that. And I had a chance to catch some behind the scenes with him on that conversation. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But I will tell you this, Denzel.
What did he think about the slap?
He talked more about how he jumped in to kind of like calm Will down after the whole thing. And, he's like, we can't lose our heads. He said, when you get, what was his quote? Something like the higher you get, the more people can see your side. So he said, you just got to control yourself in those big moments.
Yeah.
Because everything, people notice everything. Yeah.
Cool heads prevail. See, that's why I like him.
Yeah. That's great advice. Oh yeah. He's amazing.
But he is the same. He is as humble as you can get. I mean, I don't know how stardom hasn't gone to his head. He is just such a humble, laid back guy. And he doesn't see himself as a celebrity. He sees himself as a servant, which I thought was super cool.
Wow, that's cool. And then you sent a picture over with you and Jeremy Renner, and God bless him. I had shoulder surgery in May, and every time I cried like a little baby, I kept saying, "Okay, Jeremy." Yeah, in my head, he crushed every bone in his body.
I was going to say, wasn't it like nearly every bone in his body was crushed?
So I was like, "Get over it, Lisa. Get over it."
I can't even imagine recovering from that.
Yeah, I don't even feel right about complaining about a stubbed pinky toe. I mean, I'm like, man, Jeremy got run over by his snowplow.
Yeah.
And he got back. I mean, now he's shooting again.
Doing a good deed, right? If I remember correctly. I think
I don't remember the whole story, but.
Yeah, I think he was helping someone.
Oh. You mean the story of what happened?
When he got into the accident,
he was his nephew
doing a good deed.
Oh, yeah. He was getting his nephew out of the way. He was trying to hurt his nephew. I think he was in the way of but anyway, that's not what. God bless you, Jeremy. You were an inspiration during my healing period, okay? But just the cool people that you get to be around and do around your job and then come home and just be a dad and a husband at the end of the day,
Yeah, it's a blessing.
We wish you and Jamie the best, man. I really do.
Thank you.
What's that website again to plug yourself?
Creative Hearts. Yeah, creativeheartstv.org.
And if they want to get in touch with you, what's your email?
John, that's JON at creativeheartstv.org. And shoot me an email. You got questions? If there's a way that we can be a resource to you, we'd be happy to help.
And send him a donation. Right?
There you go. Yeah, you take some donations. It goes a long way. We're doing our Future Now fair, so we call it Future Now because we want to give kids an opportunity to see their future right now. So yeah,
awesome.
That's so fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I work in a school, so I'm in awe of all those things that you do.
Oh, thank you.
It's a lot of work.
All right, you guys. John, like to do what we call the lightning round.
Oh, the lightning round. Okay.
Yes. And
the lightning round.
It's a lot of fun, but it can be intimidating because Rose likes to practice on me and my husband and our kids or what. I can't even do it. So I wish you luck.
All right, let's see what you got.
That hard. It's super simple. All you do is I'm just going to ask you some questions and just the first thing that, it comes out from the top of your head. So they're not hard at all. They're not.
I'm sorry in advance.
I don't know.
Let's go.
Just can't think fast, I guess.
Okay. So question number 1, place you want to visit that you've never visited before.
Egypt.
Last song you listened to.
Oh, I don't even remember. Pass. Come back to that one.
Okay, we can pass that one. Okay, so other than Jesus, your favorite Bible character?
David.
Okay, what teacher or mentor was most inspiring to you?
Miss Mary Holman.
I'm
Oh,
glad he remembers that.
Yeah, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
The ability to take on every superpower I can imagine.
Nice.
That's
Yeah. See what I did there?
Yep.
So
okay, so
power.
If you had to eat the same meal forever, what would it be?
My wife's Puerto Rican food.
Oh, she's Puerto Rican?
She's got, oh yeah, she throws
We're
down
Puerto Rican.
Come on now.
I'm interrupting. Go on, keep going.
Okay, so who would you like to play you in a movie?
The first thing that came to mind is it's going to make me mad to say it out loud, but Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
I don't even agree with myself on this, but I just
that's a great movie. I love Kevin. Great.
It's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is one thing about yourself that surprises people?
That I'm actually pretty shy most of the time.
Okay. If you could instantly become an expert in something, what would it be?
Learning.
Very cool. And our final question, what is your dream car?
Oh my gosh. My dream car, I don't know. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I don't know. I would say
a minivan?
Yay. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, we passed
soccer dad minivan.
There you
go.
And
we got to go back to the song. What was the last song you listened to?
Last song I listened to, I would say it may be it was playing in my office, On My Mind, Georgia Smith. I think that's what it was.
Very cool.
Okay. You made it through the lightning round.
I made it. I survived. Thank you.
Wow, those are great questions. Can I ask you why you chose David?
I like David's story. There are a lot of them that inspire me, but I think right now, I think seasons of life, you identify with different people. David's whole rags to riches track, I think a lot of people don't realize it, but he was anointed when he was young and he went right back to serving after being anointed to be king. And we all have those seasons where you can see the big moments, but don't ever forget where you came from. And I think David never forgot how to dance in his ephod and just never let the crown get to him.
That is a wonderful message. Wow.
John, you gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Thank you. But back to the Puerto Rican wife. Okay.
Yeah.
We are Spasian. We are half Spanish, half Asian. We're Korean and Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay.
Is your wife full Puerto Rican?
She is full Puerto Rican. Yes.
Okay. I bet you get good food.
Our Puerto Rican sister.
That was the easiest question to answer this whole time. My favorite food, man, she throws down. So my favorite.
Wow, it's been such a challenge here in Central Texas to find Puerto Rican food because I've been trying to surprise my father with pasteles. I just can't find it anywhere here.
Rose, if you're serious about this, I'll ask my mother-in-law to.
We are very serious, very serious, very serious.
I got you on that. I'll put it in order right now. Look, I'm gonna text.
Well, you heard we're going to be in San Antonio, so I'll text you and let you know.
I will put out the request right now, and she'll get working on it.
Yay.
Wow, that's so cool.
John, thank you so much for joining the Punk Brats, man.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for making me a punk brat. It's good to be on the show.
You are a punk brat. Is there anything you want to say or plug to other brats out there, or anything you want to share or say?
Well, look, you were kind enough to give me that shout out with my website. What I would like for every punk brat listening to this to know is that you need to follow everything Lisa and Rose are doing and if you're a real punk brat, then get in on the movement and check them out, because they're bringing people together that thought they would never stay connected. So, and then look at this. I found my yearbook from 2004 in Germany. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my gosh. Cool. You know what? You just gave me an idea. If you want to send me some pictures, I'll put them on our website under your name, link.
Ah, there you go. Okay. See, this is back in the day when I thought it was cool.
Share some of your doodles.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to go get some napkins for some restaurants.
So Rose has to close us out. I hate this part. Because I'm having fun.
This is great. Y'all are doing great. I love this show.
Oh, thank you. Well, we never say goodbye. We always say, see you later.
See you later.
We will see you later.
Hey, that was a fantastic interview. John's a very busy guy.
Yeah. And I think it's so cool that he's married to a Puerto Rican and we had, that in common.
Yeah. I think I got more excited on that than anything. I was like, Puerto Rican.
I know.
I bet she eats really well, right? Like he said.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I can get that recipe for the pasteles.
Maybe we can just crash his house during dinner time and say, hey, we personally wanted to deliver an episode, the episode to you. or something just like to eat. I don't know. I'd love to eat some Puerto Rican.
I really like all the work that he does with kids too. He and his wife.
Absolutely.
That is such, that's just so admirable,
Very, very, and he sounds so humble. So laid back
I know. Really cool. Speaking of kids, we have a correction from our last episode.
Okay.
So during your Brats in the News, I think you shouted out an incorrect website. So it was for our military kids. So I just want to correct that and say that the correct address is ourmilitarykids.org.
Yeah, they're the organization that gives grants to kids of disabled veterans for extracurricular activities outside of school. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. And the correction's on our website too. And I'll do better.
That's okay. We're still learning. This is still all new for us. So we're going to make mistakes, but.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. And I hate saying that word, as all brats do. So.
We don't say goodbye.
We don't. What do we say, Rose?
We say see you later.
See you later.
Oh, yes. My name's Diane. I live in Kyle, Texas. And I was calling because I have a couple of questions that I was wondering about military brats. The first question is, since you guys move all over, how do you pick, like your professional sports teams? I'm sure maybe some of y'all will, pick where maybe you were born. But what if you weren't born in that particular state? Maybe you were born overseas. How do you go about picking your sports teams? And then secondly, for the rest of us who weren't military brats, we grow up with kids in the neighborhood and kind of make friends easily. I'd like to kind of hear some of the stories of how you guys may have made friends moving from one place to the other. Thank you.